Hey guys, how we doing? Today's review is actually going to be on JOOP's Nightflight. But before we get into the review, I do have something I want to say. Yeah guys, I just wanted to talk about how big a success that swap thread was. I mean, in the first 48 hours of that thread being out, it got over 150 comments and a ton of ratings, and I hope everyone was able to save a ton of money with the different swaps that they were able to do for everybody. And the success of that was so much that I'm definitely going to do a swap thread for all of us in the fragrance community once a month. So now that we got that out of the way, we'll get back to our review on JOOP's Nightflight. And what I'll first talk about is the history of this one. JOOP's Nightflight was actually released in 1992, and JOOP was really trying to market it as, well, what they have to say is it's a mysterious, magical, fresh fragrance that's kind of supposed to simulate the overall feeling of sparkling moonlight. Now, I don't know about them simulating the smell of sparkling moonlight, but it's more they're trying to go after the feeling that you're watching the stars with somebody you love. That's the overall feel they're trying to get with this particular fragrance. But we'll actually go into the notes of JOOP's Nightflight. We do have top notes of lemon, bergamot, coriander, and pineapple. We have middle notes of masculine florals, and then we have base notes of amber, sandalwood, and cumin. Now to what that really all smells like on your skin, or at least how it smells on my skin. Really, the top of this opens up extremely fresh. I'm talking probably the freshest thing you have ever put on your skin, guys. I mean, the overall feeling you get with this is, picture you just washed your sheets, and they have that fresh, just kind of powdery, clean smell to your sheets. I mean, everybody loves their sheets smelling fresh. I love my sheets smelling fresh. But why have yourself buried in those fresh sheets? You go ahead and you drink an ice cold glass of pineapple juice. Now, that's the top of the fragrance. Now, as it starts to go through the progression of the fragrance into the heart and the base notes of it, it starts to lose that freshness, that super pineapple fresh laundry detergent aroma it gets, and starts to move into a sweet, no, it's not really even a sweet, it's a semi-sweet musk. And something else. Something I cannot put my finger on. But it's a semi-sweet feel to it. And the dry down to this is actually what gives it that mysterious feel. When JOOP was advertising this particular fragrance, they weren't kidding. There is something in the dry down in here that gives it kind of that mysterious feel. That dries down to kind of that semi-sweet, powdery, just mysterious feel. And when I say mysterious feel, I think of the color blue. It doesn't really smell like it'd be blue, but it's just a powdery blue, semi-sweet because of the amber, but don't get this confused with an amber fragrance feel. So for JOOP's Nightflight overall, we're looking at kind of a soapy, powdery, fresh pineapple that dries down to a mysterious, semi-sweet, powdery fragrance. Now, why this is soapy and powdery, don't think it's Prada soapy and powdery. Prada's very soapy and powdery. It's much more manageable for, to make it easier for people to like. But let's go on to the longevity of JOOP's Nightflight. Now, this is where this will really succeed as a fragrance. The longevity of this, you get 5 to 6 hours. At least I get 5 to 6 hours on my skin with moderate projection. And these 5 to 6 hours you'll get on your skin will, like I said, give you that, just that somewhat projection. Something that makes it not overwhelming, but something that you also don't have to be right up to the skin to smell this one. Now this is really a room freshener. If you were to walk into, say, a hot elevator or walk into a really hot club, because you know how hot it can get when people are dancing, with this on, everyone would probably want to get close to you because this will leave them feeling refreshed. It cuts right through the heat. Now to apply JOOP's Nightflight, here's what I do. The spritzer on this, for one, is super fantastic. And we got right there. Takes up the whole screen, spritzes it great, won't leave it runny. Just an overall phenomenal spritzer by the JOOP house. Now, because it spritzes so much, I just do one shot on my neck and then one on each wrist. Sometimes I'll do an optional one to the chest, and I'm pretty well set for this one because, like I said, it does have all right projection for a fresh fragrance, and the projection does stay that way for a little while. Now, as far as the occasion, this, in my opinion, is a good signature scent. So you could use this for fall, summer, or spring. Now, I'd particularly use this as a daytime scent, but if you're dancing and it's going to be really hot, or it's a hot summer night, hey, don't be afraid to whip this guy out. I mean, this is definitely one that could be beneficial to you. But now to the compliments on JOOP's Nightflight that I've got. This one right here, I was only complimented on it once. I haven't worn it much. I mean, I did wear it for about 2 weeks straight, so I get a good feel and review. You can see how much is left on there. There's still probably 95% of the bottle left on there. But just generally, it was just like I was dancing and, you know, had a woman dance close to me. And, you know, she's like, oh, you smell really fresh. And I was like, oh, thanks. You know, just one of those type things. This one, people will like, particularly young people. If you're in middle school, high school, or college, this one would be very good for you as it can be worn to class. It'll be smelled in class. And it will probably be liked in class because it's just one of those open your nostril, fresh scents that has just a little bit of sweetness to it. Now, as far as what everybody probably wants to know, and that's my rating on JOOP's Nightflight. This stuff is, you know, it's solid. It's not really my style, particularly. It's almost maybe even a little too young for what I look for in a fragrance. It does have a decent amount of uniqueness to it, particularly in the dry down where it does get somewhat mysterious. But my final rating on this would definitely be a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's, you know, it's a solid fragrance. Do you know how I relate my grades to letter grades, like if they were on an exam? That's how I've always done it. This would get a C+. I really think a lot of people will enjoy this one, particularly the younger crowds, because generally everybody will like this one. Now, my compliment rating on this, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Because that exact reason. Nobody will dislike this one. Everyone will like it. And it does stay around for a little bit more, at least a lot more than a lot of other fresh fragrances do. So an 8 out of 10 for the compliment rating on that. Now, luckily, you can find this guy pretty cheap. Actually, they do have it at FragranceNet, and if you did want to get it at FragranceNet, I do have that coupon code over there, Tim9, which does help me keep doing these reviews. And on top of that, it does give you an extra 10% off. So definitely that coupon code if you'd want to get it at FragranceNet. But yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review. You know, I always love making reviews for you guys. And we have JOOP's Nightflight, 7.5 out of 10 overall, 8 out of 10 compliment rating, and overall just a good summer fragrance. So definitely always rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And I do have this one up for swap right now, guys. So if you're interested in JOOP's Nightflight, go ahead and send me a swap offer on it. I enjoy the fragrance, but I'm not wearing it as much. So that means I generally swap it. But definitely, guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later for another review. Hopefully on Thursday. And it's probably going to be niche, so you probably know what it is right now. So I'll leave you guys with that. See you later, guys.